Ever felt like you don't deserve the role you currently have to fill, especially if it's a new virtual assistant role, or let's say perhaps a new client who just onboarded you, or you happen to land a role recently as an executive assistant to a big company? Or have you ever felt like you can't satisfy them? And how dare you think you can? What makes you so special that you got hired anywhere from the pool of virtual assistants, executive assistants, or personal assistants out there who don't have what you currently have? Sometimes you don't even feel sure you can satisfy or bring fulfillment to the role you presently or currently occupy. Well, I've been there recently. The fear, the doubts, like you can't do this. Well, you know, everyone is unique in their own way. Every client, every company, every role, no matter what you've done in the past as a virtual assistant or an executive assistant, a new role can tend to make you feel that way. You know what you offer, but sometimes the uniqueness of the company or clients can make you have that sense of doubt. Well, remember, you've done this before, and you can do it again, even better. If you're currently feeling like this, or have ever felt this way, how did you handle it? How did you overcome that feeling? I can tell you for sure that doubts can be constant if you make it or let it be constant. You have to have the power to be in charge of your mind, to be in control, knowing that you're skillful enough to bring this to satisfaction, to be the best among the best. Whether you deserve it or not, you're here, you're there, you've been onboarded, you got it. Now, how can you be better at it? How can you slay it big? This is where learning comes in. This is where refreshing your memory comes in. Because we live in a world where the whole digital space is evolving rapidly, like the speed of lightning. And you need to be abreast of the latest trends, of the latest happenings. This is where successful completion of your role will manifest if you let it manifest. This is where success lies, learning and arming yourself with the right skills. What you did last year, the way you did it, the system that was used to run it might be way different than what you are currently going to embark on. Like I said earlier, every client is different. If you're working for a solopreneur, sometimes you have to set up the systems yourself. Most of the times, not even sometimes, you have to prefer ideas, prefer new ways to make sure that they effectively run their solo businesses on point. Make sure that they see your value as their virtual assistant, as their executive assistant. And if you happen to work as an executive assistant for a team or a big company, you have to be committed. You have to learn to adapt to their new style, to their role, to their ways of accomplishing things. And sometimes they might need your advice on one or two. And majority of the times you have to learn at the speed of lightning as well, because there are new tools, new systems, and new ways of doing things. And that's why, especially the executive assistants that have been working with companies for a long while, they get to master the system. It's become a part of their nature. And once maybe they got laid off from the role, trying to adapt into the role of a virtual assistant, a personal assistant to a solopreneur might be difficult, might be easy, it depends. And that is where the imposter syndrome might kick in silently, which is why you need to be at abreast of the latest tools. Arm yourself with learning, unlearning, and relearning. Most importantly, communication. You should have a top skill of communication as a virtual assistant. Communicate effectively. Lay out certain things that are not working. Be committed. Be committed. As for me, I tend to go back to my books. I tend to check the latest trends. Go on YouTube. Find out what's happening. Find out the latest, especially the systems that were set up. What's new? What came up? I remember working with a team, the team that I'm currently working with, and we use the ClickUp project management tool, which also acts as our CRM system. We're using the 2.0 version, and all of a sudden the 3.0 came up. That requires my attention to learn its latest style, its latest inputs, what's new in it, and how to go about it, because it became a whole different dashboard entirely. So, learning can help you get a hold of whatever doubts, of whatever fear, of whatever imposter syndrome that may want to creep into your mind. Also, do not displace the place of community, of reaching out to ask for help whenever you can. I know it can be lonely, it can be one-sided, but for me, it works having a community of other virtual assistants and executive assistants whom I can reach out to, and we can share ideas of what they do that works for them, and I can learn one or two from their style. Or just the process of speaking up and saying, hey, this is what has been bugging me, and the motivation, the positivity that can come from their words can also help you overcome every sense of imposter syndrome creeping in at the back of your mind. Remember, it's a process, and it's all about having a positive mindset. That is why in this remote role, especially if you work remotely as a virtual assistant, you definitely need to have a sense of community. You definitely need to learn as much as you can on a daily basis. Don't just stay at back because you have a sense of job security that is keeping you abreast. You don't need anything new. You need to continue learning. You need to arm yourself with the weapons of the latest trends. Yes, I call it the weapons of the latest trends. Take it one day at a time. Give it your 1%. Keep in mind that having a positive mindset can help you scale through no matter what. And remember, communication, commitment matters in this role. Matters so much that can help you beat every sense of imposter syndrome. Remember, it's a process. It is a process. Take each day, one day at a time. Grow in your role. Be committed and provide support passionately. I repeat, passionately. You can't succeed in this role as a virtual assistant if providing support is not one of your many passions. because your clients, your team, the company that hired you for one thing and one thing only, to assist them in whatever capacity you can. And in doing so, you have to learn their style, you have to learn their systems, you have to communicate effectively, and reach out for help whenever you can. This way, imposter syndrome has nothing on you. We all experience it sometimes. We all experience imposter syndrome in one way and another, but it can be fought, it can be beaten. Think positively, learn, communicate effectively. I remember, have a supportive community that you can reach out to and ask for help whenever. Being a virtual assistant, being an executive assistant or a personal assistant is a beautiful role. It shows that you are a giver. It shows that you are already a success. For me, my clients' support, my clients' happiness, my team's happiness is my happiness. Yes, we may live in the background and not be known, but just the sense that our teams are thriving, our clients' business is thriving, is one of the best feelings ever. And of course, you're getting paid for your services. So go out there, thrive. And if you have any questions, if you're finding it hard to beat imposter syndrome, I wish and I pray that you listen to this voice, that you listen to this episode, and you learn how to beat it. Okay? So, until next time, stay positive. Remember, this podcast is also your podcast. Leave your comments, recommendations, and reviews in the comment section below. Ciao!